Hello, my name is JP Hofseth. I'm with Team Loose Cannons, and I'm going to be doing a playthrough of my build um, on our game Cyber City. So we're going to start by opening our Perforce executable here, and we're going to go over to level select. Mine is the drone factory level. So I opted to have my level in first person. So the player starts in first person. If you notice, it says to draw your weapon, scroll, aim at targets, right mouse click, left button fires. Now, if you do hit
Bullseye.
the bullseye, you'll hear confirmation of the bullseye on the targets there. And that material I made that kind of does the flashing for that matches the targets here. That way the player gets an idea of what they're aiming for on the level. And if you notice the drone enemies on the middle of them, they also have that same flashing material. So if you hit that eye, it blows them up. Now you can hit the drones anywhere and they'll take damage. So, but if you hit them directly on the eye, it one shot kills them. So, until we get to the upper level, but we'll go over that when we get there. So of course, the best way to engage the drones is always aim for that eye in the middle. If you hit them on the side, see, they have a health bar that goes down until they die. But the eye is the best way because it one-shot kills, and one-shots are always the best, especially conserve health. So if you notice at the top of the screen it says viruses collected. We have 1 out of 2. We need 2 to override the elevator. And here's where the targets start getting a little bit more interesting. If you notice, there's 2 targets in here. One of them's connected to the door, so obviously if we kill that one, that door opens, but the other one's actually connected to the next door. So this is where the player has to start being observant. And it's a fairly simple system. I've got the doors connected to the indicators and the target's connected to the door. So the door is kind of the central hub to communicate between the two of them. And they both, the targets when they get destroyed tell the door, hey, I've been destroyed. And the door, once enough targets have been destroyed, tell the indicator, hey, turn green. So it's just some basic messaging. And then I created a widget that does the override elevator AI and does the progress bar and then goes up. Now you can go over that while there's still drones in here. I wanted there a slight delay to make it seem like you're actually overriding it and not just you overlap and it automatically turns on and the elevator goes up. And then once the elevator reaches the top, the door opens. And checkpoint. So there's a lot of health over here, but I'm going to go over to the upgrade station because I'm actually just going to buy a health upgrade. And when you buy the health upgrade, it heals you completely and gives you a new total health. Now, the upgrade kiosk, if you hover over the icons, will show you each individual upgrade you can get. Now, this is something that we made for the MVP level, so it's not something I had to make for my level, but I did help design it for the MVP level. I'm going to go to the left here first. And I just wanted to point it out because I implemented it on my level. If you notice, some of the drones up here will have shielding. And that's indicated by the green that they turn. It makes it so that you have to hit them multiple times before you can even one-shot them. So all of these only have one tied to them, but the thing about this area is I made it so that where the virus is behind, which trailer the virus in is randomized. I did that by just adding a spawner to each of the trailers, and then the level blueprint randomly picks one of the spawn locations at random, of course, and that's what trailer the virus gets put in. So each time you play, you never know which virus or which trailer that virus is going to be in. And then, of course, all the other trailers do have stuff in them too, so it's not just um, empty. Now, not all of them are randomized. That one will always have that money, but there's 4 of them that have a single drone in it and a spawn point for the viruses. I was debating making it so that when the drones rush you like that, that they explode. But I opted not to do that at this time. I'm still debating whether or not I actually want to put that in. Kind of add another element of different targets you see, different enemies you see. So I can go through all of them, but we'll leave the exploring to later. Get some health. Virus over here is actually in the shelves. And the reason I designed the shelves this way, they'll seem a little compact, they're a little narrow and close together. If you've ever actually worked in a warehouse, the shelving isn't generally all that far apart. They try to maximize as much space as they can. It's just big enough for a forklift to get in and turn. So figuring this is a futuristic type environment, which is what we were going for the game, I figured there's probably a more compact drone forklift that goes through here and puts everything on the shelves. And so I wanted it to feel a little claustrophobic, a little tight for the player as they're going through it. Now the bounce pads themselves are a mechanic that it was built by another member of my team, Alfredo Reyes. He built these bounce pads and he let me borrow them for my level. He did a really good job on them. Like I said, we're not going to go after all the pickups because I had quite a few in the shelving here. We're just going to go for the end. I myself am not a great platformer. I have a little bit of trouble on Alfredo's board playing it myself. It's a great level. I really highly recommend playing it, but I am bad at jumping, which is one of the reasons I want to add this in here. One, give the player a little bit of a difference in what they're doing, so it's not just straight up combat. Uh, and then the virus is here at the end, of course. Now, you can, if you time it right, jump in between some of these, and like I said, I'm bad at platforming and jumping. Um, Getting back is usually a little bit easier for me than getting to the location. Oops, I'm on the wrong bounce pad. There we go. I'm bad at this. Anyways, maybe I might cut some of this. goodness. Did not have this much problem with this when I first built it. I haven't had this much problem with it since I've been playing this level. It's probably just because I'm recording now. I can almost guarantee it's because I'm recording now. See? Try and... Oops. Bouncing off of everything now. There we go. There we go, and out of that section. So, yeah. Don't need to show you everything, just how everything works. So, and now I've lost my commentary altogether. So, after the bounce area, there's two ways you can go. You can go over here, which leads to this upgrade station in the other elevator. But I'd recommend going back this way, because you still gotta find the other viruses. And this area takes you into the offices. Now the bottom here is more storage. Again, I kind of designed this the way some of the warehouses I've worked in have been set up. This is like if you've ever worked in an Amazon warehouse. This is much like the upper sections of the Amazon warehouse, at least the one I worked in. Lots of shelves right in a row, right next to each other, trying to give it a more realistic feel. And there's several drones throughout this area. So if you noticed, I was getting hit without really seeing where the guy was. Now the drones in this area, they do a patrol pattern. Some of them patrol and some of them operate at random. I want kind of a little bit of a difference between the drones on how some of them operate. That way it gives the player has a bit more variety. These ones, they're just kind of flying around, if you notice, in the one spot. And then I put, of course, health upgrades throughout the level as well. Or not upgrades, pickups. So the drones drop random pickups. It'll be one of four. It'll be the health, it'll be the hardware, or it'll be the money. They're all set up at a random drop. Now in here, the way the targets are laid out, as you notice, they're not directly connected to these doors that you see here. So the player has to follow the conduit to figure out where they're going and what to open, how to get around. So if you follow the conduit around, you will eventually figure out there's a target in here that you need to shoot. You'll see the targets in here that you need to shoot. And following the conduits around will eventually lead you to that one as well. And that opens up the final office. With the last fire slice. Or at least for this area. Which takes us to this area, which is 3 levels of just patrolling drones. And if you drain the stamina all the way down, of course you have to wait for it to fill all the way up before you can use it again. Kind of a winded effect that we added in. And I wanted this area to be a bit more like a factory. I wanted there to be a giant machine in here that's producing drones, with a conveyor that kind of the player could climb up. But as they like to say, save that for the update. A little bit of a firefight going. So as you can tell with the sound, that made a bunch of drones kind of converge on me. So stealth does help in this game. Being stealthy, or at least being careful where you're shooting, or when you're shooting, so as not to get overwhelmed. Otherwise, you can get overwhelmed quite easily by all the drones converging on you. So that it does add a little bit to the stealth aspect that we were going for. Now, I didn't focus a lot on stealth on my level. Mostly on the combat aspect, and the targeting aspect is pretty much what I'm trying to feature. So here we have the end level. We're going to get a bunch of waves of drones. So the player has to go through and kill waves of drones. And as we kill the waves of drones, let that last one go. A new wave will pop out. And then these will be the shielded ones. So here you can see the health upgrade helps a lot. Having that weapon upgrade is helping me too. And there's actually an upgrade kiosk here. So we can upgrade again. Now we're maxed, and we're maxed. And this will bring out the final wave of drones. Now there's just a slight delay between the waves of drones. So when you kill the wave of drones, there's about a 5-second delay between each wave. I've thought about increasing that. In this last wave, they take a few more hits to kill, even with the upgrade. But once you've killed the last wave, this appears. Now it looks like it's going to be something you have to fight until it gets to the bottom here, and the stairs deploy. This is actually my level end. It's the ship you're escaping on. So That's my level. Um, as I said, I've focused mostly on the aim mechanic, focused on the combat, kind of trying to refine that for our game as a prototype, making sure that we've got, you know, a good aim system going, good offset going, a good challenge with the enemies going, and also allowing for that aim to be rewarded, getting that one shot kill when possible. So I hope you liked my level. I hope um, this helps in understanding my thought process of how I put the level together. And I look forward to doing more on this project and showing even more of the work I can do.